Okay, so I'm back in these trees, and I don't actually see a creek back here or any sort of ravine. It's just a wet, boggy area for whatever reason. I guess it's just a low spot. I'm sure there is some drainage out of here into that creek, but it's probably mostly through the ground, I would think. Very slowly. There doesn't seem to be any place where I see a channel of surface water or anything. You can see there's some ferns, some more birches. There's a lot of mosquitoes back here. This would be really nice. More birch. This would be really nice in the fall once there's been a couple of frosts and the mosquitoes aren't around anymore. This would also be a nice place for a campground as well. There's some pretty big spruce back in here. There's a couple of them. They're pretty tall. They're not huge diameter, but they're pretty tall back here. There's actually quite a few. And yeah, I'm just getting eaten alive here. Should have brought bug spray. I think this might be stinging nettle or something. Maybe I should avoid that. Crap. There's a whole bunch here. Where am I? Now I'm getting lost. Like, I'm not actually lost, but I was trying to find my way back to this other tree over here. This is how I came in. But yeah, here's some of the bigger spruce trees right here. You know, this one's got a pretty good diameter on it. But, so yeah, it's just a little forest, I guess. But definitely good wildlife habitat. There's a lot of older growth, a lot of nooks and crannies for little critters. So I think it's a valuable addition to the property, even if it's just for firewood. And you know, I saw some more raspberry plants coming in here too. So this might also be a really good place to put in mushrooms. You know, you could intentionally inoculate a bunch of logs, throw them back here in the woods where it's shady, and get a good mushroom yield. But I am absolutely getting eaten, so maybe I'll do a recap, but I think that's it for now. This is back out to that southwestern pasture area here. I think I've annoyed the ducks. I'm back to that area where I scared them the first time. I don't think they're really used to being bothered back here. They're not used to humans yet. Kind of annoyed with my presence, I think. Just gonna move up a little slower. Yeah, they're definitely skittish back here. Sorry, buddy. But this is one of the nicer areas of the creek. I mean, it's still kind of slimy, but it's kind of meandering. I think I'd want to, you know, it had the beavers in here, and they took out a lot of the brush probably, and they also kind of widened out. But if I could get this creek a little bit, you know, maybe even just kind of graze the sides and maybe let some of these willows grow in a little bit more, I think it would naturally over time, probably the channel would probably get a little deeper and less slimy. Okay, so I'm back up here at the top near the road again. Just wanted to get out of the wind. I'm actually behind a bale, and there's the road there. So this is all part of the property too here. It's kind of like a front pasture area. And I think this has some potential too. It's something I didn't really notice the first time I looked. And there is a place where these trees are right here. To me, that's mostly willow in there. And that's probably a naturally wet area. So that might be a good place for a dugout or a pond. There's naturally a fair bit of drainage that comes right into there, and you could enhance it depending on how you swaled things and stuff. So there's that. You can't really see, but there's also quite a tobogganing hill here. It's not super steep, but I think it would be fun. It's pretty long, And then over here, let me get down out of the wind again. There's a couple of kind of, I guess you kind of call them low spots or gullies. One is right here, and it kind of runs down towards the creek that way. And then on the other side of that hill where that bale is, oh yeah, like right there, there's like another one. You can kind of see it. See that top of that bale just sticking out right there? That's there's another low spot there that runs down towards that other creek. So there's definitely some potential where we could put in maybe 2 or 3 ponds right along here near the house. And if we situated the house kind of over where that shed is. And so I think there's some potential here. It's an interesting setup, and it really gets my imagination going. As you can tell, I'm already coming up with ideas, and I haven't even put an offer yet. But this is one that we're definitely interested in, and so I'm hoping it works out. So I thought I'd just do a quick aside, and so I'm out here behind the bale still. But basically, one thing we also did when we were checking out this property is I talked to the neighbors. I talked to the neighbors both north and south of the property, the ones that would be next to us. And they both seem like pretty nice people, and that's something that you definitely want to do if you're buying a rural property, is at least get an idea of the general character of your neighbors. I mean, obviously the more you know about them the better, but at least if you can get a general idea that they're, you know, not bad people, that is a good thing. The other thing I did is the nearest fairly large town to here is Drayton Valley, and I checked that out as well today. And you know, Drayton Valley is a it's kind of like it's a small town, but it's a big town at the same time. I think it's about 7,000 people, a lot of blue collar workers, oil and gas, forestry. But it seemed like a pretty decent town. I didn't see a lot of trailer trash types or people that looked like they were meth addicts or anything. It just seemed like normal, everyday people when I went to some of the larger box stores like Canadian Tire and Walmart. And that's kind of what I was looking for. You know, if I started seeing a lot of shifty people, that might actually change my mind about a property like this. But I didn't get any bad vibes off of it. And the town is big enough that it has everything that you would want. It has... You know, it has 3 or 4 grocery stores. It has the Walmart and the Canadian Tire. It has banks. There's a little theater, and then all the local shops. So most of the things that you do need can be done there. That's about a 20-minute drive to this property. And then we have Edmonton, which is, you know, a huge metro area of about 1 million people. It's about an hour away. So I am getting eaten alive by mosquitoes out here because I stopped moving, and so I'm going to cut this short. But I just thought I'd add that as just a little thing. You know, before you consider purchasing a property, you should definitely check out both the towns near it and also your neighbors to make sure that everything's good. And of course, do your due diligence, title searches, things like that. Make sure that you get as much information as possible before you make a big decision like that. Okay, so take care, everyone.